I think we've got some people joining at the moment. Maybe just someone hit me a chat. Thank you. Thank you, Carol, telling me you've got your paint kit ready. I'm Nicole Mitchell from Tourism Australia. I look after our Discover Aboriginal Experiences program. And we have the lovely Leah and Sarah here live from Uluru to join us on this dot painting workshop today. I wish I was in Uluru with you both, but luckily to the thanks of technology, we can do this today. So I'm just going to wait for a few more minutes before we start, because I can see people coming in quickly. We have an hour session today, and I'll run through the agenda in a moment, but really pleasing that everyone's got their paints. I was wondering if someone was actually going to pinch their kids' paint set. I thought about doing that because I didn't have any paints and wanted to join in. But it would be great to see some of the artworks after as well. We might give you an email address to send a photo in to us, which would be great. Any questions here? No, we're all good so far. So has anyone got music on to paint to? Bit of background music. And everyone has also got their sheets, their symbol sheets. If you haven't got that with you, please make sure that you've got that with you. Okay, well, I might kick off our session for today on Discover Aboriginal Experiences. And for those who have just joined, my name is Nicole Mitchell and I work at Tourism Australia here in Sydney. So thank you to everyone who's joined us for the workshop today. We've also got Leah and Sarah here from Maraku in Uluru, which are one of our DAE members. Hello. Hi, ladies. I'm going to flick through. There is a bit of a lag here on the presentation, so please bear with me with that. Firstly, I would like to, I know we're all on different lands across the world at the moment, but I think it's important that in the spirit of reconciliation, that Tourism Australia acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connection to land, sea and community. We also pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. So heading in, first of all, what have we got on today? So I'm going to give you about a 10-minute rundown on Discover Aboriginal Experiences, and then we're going to start our art workshop. And with the questions, please put them through the Q&A as you're doing throughout, and we'll hand over to Leah to answer some of those questions. And we might grab some time at the end as well. So firstly, about Discover Aboriginal Experiences, some of you may have joined some other sessions, but DAE, as we call it, is part of the Signature Experiences program of Australia, which is really about those premium experiences for coming to Australia, whether that be with ultimate wineries, tasting from the bat or meeting the winemaker or getting behind the scenes at some of our fabulous cultural attractions. And as I mentioned, I'm very lucky to look after this collective. Firstly, a bit of a history lesson for everybody that I wanted to point out. For those who don't know, Australia has the oldest living culture in the world, and that's dating back 60,000 years. And it's not one homogenous culture. It's made up of many different cultures. In fact, with that beautiful Indigenous map of Australia, originally there was 250 recorded languages, and there's still 120 different dialects spoken today. And tourism and sharing our culture, sharing our Indigenous culture is incredibly important for the sustainability of this fabulous culture. So what Discover Aboriginal Experience is about, it's really about showcasing through culture, through the cornerstones of insight, authenticity and connection. It's all about connecting with our wonderful guides and wonderful artists like we have Sarah here today. So it's every experience in the collective is Aboriginal guided, and everyone has got a different storytelling and connection. Every part of Australia is Aboriginal country, and every part of our country has a different story to be told. And I'm sure we're going to hear some today from Uluru. Authentic, engaging experiences, all small group, tailor-made programs as well. We've actually got over 185 different experiences in the collective. All quality experiences, most importantly, trade-ready experiences, and as I mentioned, important for cultural sustainability. So here's a beautiful map of all our experiences. Key point here is you can see the experiences are in regional or in urban locations throughout Australia. There's so many different experiences, whether you want to jump on the back of a quad bike, you know, art there that we have, culinary experiences, a kayak, a walking tour in Sydney. There's literally something for everybody. And it's really about including those experiences throughout Australia in whatever destination the itinerary goes to. And how to include those experiences is what I guess coin is to flavour the itinerary. So if you're going out to Uluru, you'll absolutely have to include a wonderful workshop with Maraku Arts. Or if you're heading to the Great Barrier Reef, perhaps going to the reef with Dreamtime Dive and Snorkel, or up to the Daintree with Walkabout Cultural Adventures. So what's new? We've got some new experiences for those. I'm sure there's some of our partners on the line here who I've met many times. So I'd love to tell you what's new. We've actually got 4 new experiences in the collective this year. Wanjani Yam Adventure Tours in Coffs Harbour, a SUP tour for 2.5 hours or a full day paddle and walk. Heading then, we're going to go out to Wagga Wagga, which is regional Riverina region, if you've done the winery experiences yet. Fantastic experience out here with Mark. Many different options from 3.5 to 6 hour experiences, even on the back of a motorcycle. Heading into Western Australia, the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Kununurra region, up in the Kimberleys, 10 different experiences, including overnight, and tailor-made journeys with Kingfisher Tours. And last but not least, we have an experience with pearl farming up at Cygnet Bay. Fabulous guide there, Terry. Quite a character, as you can see. So there are 4 new ones. I'm not going to take up too much time apart from to tell you where to find further information. We've got some great guides. We've got a brochure and a trade portfolio resource, which is all the facts, figures and information on all of the experiences. This is available on our corporate website. It's also available on our Aussie Specialist Program website in the Aussie store to download. We have a dedicated new Discover Aboriginal Experiences module, a whole heap, I think there's 40 different itinerary suggestions and product training videos. Also, free assets. We've got over 500 new fabulous images that you saw some of today and video, all free to download. So we've also got a media kit. I put this in here. If any of our partners are out there looking for content ideas, story ideas for newsletters, for blogs, for updates, also worth having a download and having a look. So in summary, before I hand over to Maraku, we have the world's oldest living culture. Fabulous to join one of our experiences in all of the locations, urban or regional. Maraku Arts is one of our key members of the collective. Sorry, that's jumped there. My details are on the screen there. I will share those with you in the chat, and also you've got your fabulous Tourism Australia team in market. But I think what we're all here for is a bit of painting. So what I would like to do is hand over to Leah and Sarah to take us further and tell us a little bit about Maraku art and learn some art. Thank you.
Paria Mari. Alikunga. Oh, okay. Oh. Guys, my name is Leah. I work for Maraku Arts, and this is Sarah. Sarah was just saying to us that she would like to share some chukupa, so stories in the sand. Vale? Oh. Oh, well. So Sarah was saying that this symbol that we can see in the sand here, this is a symbol with the concentric circles. She said that this could be a rock formation. It could also represent a waterhole or a home or meeting place.
Okay, I've just got a message there that we're having a little bit of trouble hearing you. Can you hear me, Leah?
Oh,
I've just got some saying that they can't hear.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, I'll try and what I'll do is I'll disconnect my headset.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a little bit better. We might have to get you to speak a little loud with the camera being a little bit further away.
Sure, not a problem. Yeah, so circles that we're seeing in the sand here, this can represent a home, a rock formation, or a waterhole. Is that better?
Yes, that's better. Thank you.
All right. So what we're looking at here now, so you can see these U shapes in the sand that Sarah has drawn for us. That U shape is the shape that we make when we sit in the dirt. So we know we've got people sitting. She said that we've got a woman sitting over here because she has her digging stick and her food bowl and her mungari. Over here we've got the male, so we know we've got the man because he has his spear thrower, and his 2 boomerang. Right? So I'm not sure if you guys can see here. So we've got the 3 rock formations in the area of where we live. So it's those concentric circles again, and the travelling lines that move between them. So we've got where we're currently living here out at Uluru. We've got Attila. So we've got Attila, which is a big flat tabletop mountain. It's about an hour and a half's drive from here. And we've got Katajuda as well, which is also in the national park here down the road. Right? Yeah.
I've just got a question that's come up.
Yeah.
Is there a specific reason that the artwork is framed by leaves, and does it have to be does the leaf have any significance?
I actually chose this tonight. Sarah wanted to let you know that this is actually a food plant. So it comes from amuli, which is a beautiful little bush that gives these tiny little bush plums, and it's about to fruit at the moment. So I decided to bring some out for a decorative finish this evening, because we're about to receive food from this at this time in the next week or so.
Thank you.
What? Sarah does the best footprints. Okay, so what we're looking at in the dirt right now is a series of footprints in the sand. Now, in Aboriginal culture, this is a really important thing to know because it's literally a map of what's on the menu for dinner that night. So what we're looking at here is kiparawa. So we've got bush turkey, and then we've got our kalaya, so our emu, and these 2 long feet here with the little tail behind it. This is the malu, so the kangaroo with his little feet. Monujana kapijikiniwa. So she said that these footprints. Oh wow! So they're all coming in for a drink at the waterhole.
Oh, you what you Maraku. Wana kwa wanga pe minma. No wanga pe wana. Wana. Oh. Oh. Mona nangara wana karam pe wana mo. Na chuka mo wana. Dan nale karam pe. Nale karam pe. Oh. Mo kanting nani. Wana mo pe. Mo kanting nani pe. Minma ko pe puri ko. No tawani mako itanga tilga ko kapi.
So this tool here, this is a tool for the women. So this is a digging stick. She said it's made from the mulga tree, which is a very strong hardwood in this region. She said that they would use this to dig for sangawana eggs and makua, so widgety grub. And the ladies would also use this for dancing and ceremony as well. So this here, we call this the mummery. So you might want to depict this in some of your paintings as well. This is the ring that balances the food bowl on the head. She said that in the old days, this was made out of emu feathers, hair, human hair, and with spin effects on the inside. Oh, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, Sarah was saying that this is, we know this as the wira, so this is the food bowl for the women. She said that they would have dug this out of the side of the monomapa, which is, we know as the bloodwood tree as well. She said that the ladies would use this for all their beautiful bush foods. She said that they would put their bush figs, their bush tomatoes, bush plums, their quandongs as well, along with their sangoana eggs and widgety grubs. She said that the ladies would take the head ring and carry that on the head like so. She also said that the ladies would have a second one of these, which was a lot bigger, to carry a baby arm as well, but don't carry the baby on the head. So she also mentioned that a long time ago, this pattern was not here. So she said it wasn't until the white fellas came with all their fencing wire that the ladies started pinching the fencing wire and heating it up in the fire at night to burn these patterns line by line. Sarah mentioned that this here is a pattern representing the Tali, so the sand hills in the area of where So this here, this is the quite often people will call this the boomerang. Out here we speak Pitjantjatjara, so in Pitjantjatjara language we call this the Kali. She said that the fellas would use it to throw towards the kangaroo or to break the legs of the emu. She said that when you throw it, this boomerang, this particular type of boomerang does not return. So if you throw it, you want to be a good shot because you have to go and get it. She also mentioned that this Kali, the fellas would also walk around with 2 of these to make music for ceremony. Buddy?
Got a question for you ladies that's come in. First of all, about the technique with dot art and how you actually paint with dot art. So is it a paintbrush or a stick? And do the different colours have any significance, different significance? I guess like in the painting behind you.
Yeah, it's a really good question actually, because just after the next tour, we're going to go into, we're going to look at an example of a canvas in a moment.
Fantastic, thank you.
Cover the dots in
All right.
Yeah, and the colours as well.
Perfect, thank you.
So this is another tool. This here is the tool for the men. So this is the miru. This is a spear thrower, which you see in, you'll probably see on your plaques there as well. She said that they would have a hook here to hook into the base of the spear, so they could catapult that spear forward, and it actually flies hundreds of meters. She said at the end here, we have kitty, which is a resin made from spinifex grass out here and is used to fix tools. She also said that in the old days, they would have a very sharp stone here to cut the animal with, which would help make all the tools. Okay? So Sarah was just saying to us that a long time ago we used to create our stories in the sand or in the caves, but now because we're not as nomadic as we used to be, everything is transferred onto canvas. So what we're looking at here are the dots in Aboriginal art, and this answers your question, by the way, often represents the landscape of where the artist is from. So it's time of year. Yeah, so depending on what kind of foods are out to what colours you see on canvas. Now, Sarah was saying that this particular painting is a representation of a story. There's a very sacred story out here. This is the Pulimankulpa, so the 3 rocks that we saw in the sand earlier. And this is Liru, the poisonous brown snake, and Kunia, the Woma python. And she's around with her 3 eggs around her neck. That's another image you may see on your plaques also. So Sarah was just pointing out what each of the colours are representing in this particular painting. So she was saying that here we've got our Kwandong, Kalin Pawu. Oh, Kamparumpa, Munda. So we've got Kamparumpa, sorry. So this is the little bush tomatoes. We've got salt lakes and bush plum. Oh, and sand here as well. So she was just pointing out, because I thought she said that this was Kalin Kalimpa before, so she was just saying that this is Kalin Kalimpa, the orange one, which is a honey grevillea flower that comes out once a year. And jumpies, so spinifex in the area as well. All right. So guys, you're going to get an opportunity while you're all painting to observe and see how Sarah is creating her work. So we're going to bring her work over here. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. The best way to get a really, really great, oh, thanks, Josh. The best way to get a perfect dot is to dunk your dotting stick in the exact same depth. And then when you dot it onto your canvas, you're using the same amount of pressure each time. That's the best way you're going to get a really beautiful painting. It took me 6 months to work out how to do a nice group of dots. So that's the best advice that we can give you dot-wise at this point. I just want to go in really briefly about just a little bit of history of Maraku arts. So Maraku has been around for 37 years now. And it just started with a group of animals sitting at the base of what used to be the climb back then, just making little wood carvings and selling them on to tourists. And from there, this organisation has grown into an organisation that's now looking after 22 different Aboriginal communities on a landmass around about the same size as Sweden. So what we do every couple of weeks is we get in our massive troopies, which is kind of like a Land Rover, and we go bashing out bush, sometimes for days at a time, and we pop out into these communities. And everyone knows that we're coming, so they come running out with all of their art, their woodwork, and we purchase that art directly from them. So in an Aboriginal community in remote Australia, you might have around about 180 people living in a community and perhaps one shop. So you can't have all those people working in that one shop. So this gives these guys a fantastic opportunity for a really good income. But it also allows these guys to continue handing down culture as well. So sometimes you might see ladies singing or talking about the painting as they're creating their beautiful work. And then the children are always around and they're hearing the stories while they're playing or hanging about with their grandmother or their mother. Yeah, so once we purchase that art, we then bring it out here to the cultural centre, which is in the centre of the park here. And in the cultural centre, you'll see all of these beautiful works that are imported from all of these places. Anything that's in our gallery or on our online gallery, all of that money goes directly back into the organisation. It goes back into providing good quality paints, good quality canvas, wood carving materials, all the things that out here need to create their beautiful work. We continue the cycle of culture, and we're enabling employment in regions where there would never be in the first place. So it's really brilliant. But yeah, so guys, we're open to any questions at this point. Happy to watch. You can do that as well. So, Sarah is an incredible artist. She's really, really popular in this region.
Some beautiful art pieces. Perhaps if you can just have a chat as well while everyone's getting their dots done and creating their beautiful art piece about the tourism experiences that you have with Maraku at the resort, and where you can sit down when we're back to travelling to Australia from around the world, what guests can actually do with Maraku.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad you actually, because we with some people and discussing that. So at the moment, we've got quite a few experiences available. You can always have a look at what. We offer the dot painting work in real time. We also do full demonstrations where you can book a private group to meet
somewhere in the park or maybe somewhere out at the resort where guys, girls all try to use the tools to throw spears, to play with the food bowls. They're fantastic photo opportunities as well. And everybody generally has a really good time. We also offer punu. So depending on what the fellas are to at the time. So at the moment, Billy's our man. Sometimes you can sit and watch him make a kali, make a boomerang, and that particular one is actually quite popular for families with older children, probably because they get to play with fire. But yeah, so they get to burn the wire in the fire, and they get to do things like creating these patterns on wood. So they get what we call a little walker board, so a little square piece of wood where they can burn different patterns in and tell their stories through a very new modality of artworks. We're currently in conversation at the moment as well with the resort on bringing out new products. So if you do, just keep an eye on our website because there will be new things coming to light soon.
Great. And I've just got a question here. Did Sarah paint the red dots, or is the painting all dots? So what was originally there in the middle in the red centre?
Are we referring to the painting that she's creating now?
Yes.
Sorry, can you ask the question again?
Yeah, so the red sort of circles in the centre, is that painted with dots as well, or is that a brush stroke?
That's a brush stroke.
Right, great,
yeah.
Thank you.
And you can see her technique there, like you can see where she's using that, like she's doing about 3 dots per dot. And she's using the same amount of pressure. And she's even brave enough sometimes to kind of like go back on some of the dots as well, which is pretty cool. I wouldn't trust myself to go back on a dot.
No, exactly. And also I know that Sarah's done some amazing pieces of art that are also available for sale. And I understand you have an online store as well. So after this session, if anyone is not necessarily happy with their own art piece and wants a Maraku art piece, they can jump online and have a look at that as well. But I think I've done this, I think 3 times, and all my art pieces are hung with pride and joy in my house. So I think everybody should do the same.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear. It has such a profound effect on people experiencing this with us. I mean, I've had young people who were, wanted to be lawyers suddenly change to saying, okay, I want to be a lawyer for Aboriginal rights or something like that. Like, it just has such a profound effect on people.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
With the mob, with animal, is probably one of the most primal experiences we're going to ever have in this modern day and age. And it really gives us the opportunity as well to perhaps understand maybe what our ancestors were doing not even really that long ago, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've got one more question here come through. Thanks everyone for the questions, it's great. Is Sarah using a bamboo stick, or is there a brush on the end of it, or is it just a pointy end stick?
So it's actually a the kebab skewers that you get in the supermarket. It's just one of those little bamboo kebab skewer sticks. In the old days, it would have been a stick from a tree.
True. Great, thank you. And the pattern that Sarah's painting, what does that represent? What is the story she's telling there?
So she said here, it's a story of the land. So you've got the 3 rock formations in the area here of where we live, and she's got lots and lots of sand hills in this region as well.
Fantastic. And another question, before paints were available, how were different colours created? Was it mixing earth with sand? How were the different art colours created?
Itu di palani nyaba nyamina.
Kalau pun oh apa yang berkul oh
Mono mara.
maru warung
Okay. So she said that a long time ago, they only had 4 colours, and what they would do is they would grind down. So for the yellow, she said they would grind down ochre, which is a rock ochre. They would do for red, they would have also red ochre. She said for the black, they would have the charcoal from the fire.
Mm-hmm.
White is sort of like the white, the white powdery stuff. I don't even know what it's called in English. The white powdery ashes.
Yes.
So ashes for the white. And she said, and then they would mix it with animal fat and water to paint with. Mara.
Mara plus via.
Hands, and we had no brushes.
We've got a few people saying here that there's this isn't easy, so there's a lot of admiration there for you, Sarah. And there's one question here: is there an element of Aboriginal dreamtime to the art?
I would absolutely say yes.
Great.
Nyangada Kanini Jada? Oh, yeah. So she said yes.
Of course. What is Sarah? What is your favourite colour to paint with?
Purple, orange, white,
All right. Okay. So she said blue, purple, and orange, and sometimes.
Beautiful bright colours.
Yeah, she does use beautiful bright colours. I really love her use of colours.
Yeah.
She has really good composition. Yeah.
It's amazing seeing it all come together. Like everyone's at home. Don't forget, you've got to share your art pieces afterwards on the chat there and we'll put it again at the end, but on Twitter or Instagram using hashtag TTG Aussie Fest. So just a reminder. So we're all going to see your art. And be brave enough to show it because it's your story.
Yeah, it's going to be famous, this one.
Yeah. And what's the weather like in the moment in Uluru?
Say that again.
What is the weather like in the moment at Uluru?
Out here, the weather is just cooling off now, which is really beautiful. Oh. So yeah, Sarah was saying there's lots of food out now as well. And there's going to be more. And every now and again, we're getting little bits of water. And it's just over the last couple of nights, it's actually been quite cold as well.
Okay.
So yeah, we're coming into Wari time, we call it. So it's
Wari.
I just got corrected in front of like everybody overseas. Wari time.
Wari time.
So yeah, so Wari time is cold time, Kuri time is hot time, and that's pretty much the 2 seasons that we have out here.
Right.
But it can get to -5 degrees out here sometimes when in the coldest parts of the year.
Yeah, that's a little bit chilly, but for some people on the line here, they're probably not thinking so. Perhaps if we can just move that in front of the camera there and see, oh, look at that. Yeah, see how it's looking? Beautiful.
Can we do a close-up? Do you guys want to see?
Let's see how we're going on a close-up so people can get a few tips.
So you can
Gorgeous.
see the 3 rock formations and the valleys. Hey? Oh, Auntie Judah, lots of sand dunes, she said. And she's got to put all the red dirt in there as well. She must be red dirt dreaming at the moment. Oh, wow.
And how many, I know you go as far as on your art collecting trip, as far as the Western Australia border, South Australia border, how many artists roughly would you be collecting pieces from?
Whew, that's a really interesting question. There would be hundreds of artists.
Fantastic.
Our warehouse is quite large. Well, if you compared it to a commercial warehouse, it probably wouldn't be that large. But when people walk into our warehouse, they're quite surprised. We actually have the museums come to us for artifacts.
Fantastic.
The work that's created is created right to the very last detail, exactly how it was created to survive out here not that long ago. In fact, these tools are sometimes still used today to go out bush for hunting.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember taking a group years ago out to a place called Wallace Rockhole, which is maybe
been there. Yeah.
And I was driving them in this big safari truck, and all I could see massive wanners sticking out from the bushes, and they're all kind of following each other along the bush. And I kind of slowed my truck almost a halt, and then suddenly I saw this lizard running out on its hind legs, bolting for its life, running across the road. And these ladies with their wanners, but they were like massive ones, so they'd come from a different area and they had bigger wanners. And they were like running after this thing, and I was just like stopped, and I was so stunned by what I saw. I couldn't even tell the tourists because I was just so shocked. But yeah, and to see these ladies just tearing out of the bush with these giant runners after this lizard, it was like I'd gone back in time or something. So
amazing.
What happens out here today? It's
amazing.
Yeah.
And also for everyone who's listening, if you wanted to know more about Maraku Arts, in the portfolio book we've got for Discover Aboriginal Experiences, all the contact details are there as well, information on every operator and getting there, the days of the weeks to operate. Obviously that is the guide because, as Leah said, new tours are put on and new experiences are put on all the time. We also have newsletters that you can sign up to, which I'll put the link in shortly for you. But Maraku, I've been working with Maraku for many, many years now, and always a fantastic experience. I've been to a corporate event where we painted caps, so everyone had a cap. Another thing that you can do if you've got some conference or incentive or even a big family group is perhaps painting a big art canvas. We did that once, and then we raffled it off and donated the money as well. So there's lots of different things you can do with Maraku. Maraku's also done a lot of conference logos and designs for businesses as well. So there's more to it than just the tourism element. I've got one person here, Vash Patel, who's using every colour possible. So,
who's using
every colour possible?
Who is?
Here, Vash Patel on the art piece.
To seeing that piece when you say
yeah, exactly. We're going to be looking out for that one. And there's lots of comments. Someone here, Carol, has said, loving the green art piece in the background there and the art that's in the background.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I've been lucky to visit your warehouse. It's amazing to see all the punanu and the art. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is quite beautiful. I've been sort of wanting to talk to them actually about perhaps running like a very small, intimate group of a small group, just taking them through the warehouse, because it is
Yeah.
just,
It is amazing.
yeah. Have you been into our warehouse?
I have been into your warehouse. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, no, it was eye-opening. The only challenge for me is that I wanted to buy everything. So does anyone have any more questions coming through? We've still got a little bit more time, or if anyone has any questions on other experiences in the Discover Aboriginal Experiences Collective, happy to answer that as well. A few people going, I'm not as creative as I thought I was. I think everyone's got an inner creative element, and it's all in the eye of the beholder.
Gotta play the right music and get in the right mood. And
That's right.
and
Yeah.
not care about where your dotting stick's going. Just
Yes, exactly. Sarah, we've got a lot of people coming through saying thank you very much for doing this art piece for everyone, and to you, Leah, as well. And a few people are finishing. Oh, here, Louise, my 3-year-old is doing better than me. Good point, Louise. I've been out there with family groups, and I think kids have no inhibitions. And some of the artwork that they come up with is much better than the adults. So it's a great family experience to have as well. And a great memento of your holiday to take home, particularly to do a piece as a family together.
oh,
I've got 5-year-olds on here as well.
do you?
Yeah, great fun. Yeah.
Your guys.
And it's also, as I understand here, it's Mental Health Week. So it's also art is amazing for mental health.
Yeah, absolutely.
And can focus.
Yeah, well, it keeps us present, and it's in that presence that.
Yeah. We've got a granddad, a 27-year-old. Look how many people you've inspired, Sarah. And we've got some amazing, if you're looking for images for brochures, we had Sarah, who was our fabulous in our photo shoot. Some beautiful photos of Sarah and Uluru.
Sarah's our pin-up girl.
Yes, she is. And our movie star, because we did a video too.
Hi guys, I thought I'd just jump on and say how amazing it is to see all of this and see Sarah at work and learn about the Aboriginal symbols, and it's great that everyone's been able to learn a new technique today. I can see quite a few people are finishing, so are we ready to wrap up?
I think I've just got one more question here. Is this from Sarah's home or a workshop location? So this is at the art studio location. Often when we do these workshops, they're done outside, but it's very pitch black out here in Australia at the moment. So you wouldn't have been able to see a thing if we did it. Sometimes we've done it with a beautiful Uluru background. But is there any more questions?
Oh, Elaine said, I'm loving this. I don't want to stop. Can we stay a bit longer?
Of course, of course. We might hold it.
Keep going. So wonderful.
And thank
of
you,
course,
Sarah.
everyone can continue to do their painting after we sign off today.
Absolutely, and don't forget to send them in and onto the Aussie Specialist. And in particular, Sarah, I think the whole group wants to thank you very much for sharing your special talent with us today. And I'll hand over to you, Maddie, from here.
Great, thank you very much. And thank you, Leah and Sarah. It's been really fascinating to hear from you and see you at work, and it's been brilliant. I know I can see from all the comments that agents have been absolutely loving this experience. So for everyone watching, please do continue to paint today, finish your pieces of art. And as Nicole said, please do share them on social media. It's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you have, with TTG Aussie Fest. And make sure you tag TTG so that we can share your posts and your artwork. Nicole, am I right in thinking there is a prize up for grabs today?
I'd have to check with Alison on that actually, but I think that, you know what, because it's been so much fun, I'm going to find some fantastic Indigenous prizes from here in Australia to send through to, we might get Sarah to do some judging of the art pieces, so please make sure that you send it through.
Yeah, we're asking people to send your paintings, pictures of you with your paintings, if you like, to specialists, that's plural, at tourism.australia.com. And as Nicole said, we may be able to give you a prize for the best ones.
Absolutely.
Great. Oh, when do we need to send through by? Carol's asking. How long should we say, Nicole?
Well, how about we give you another week?
Mm-hmm.
So that if you'd like to spend some time on the weekend finishing with your family, and we say a week from today.
Great.
It's the 11th, yeah.
Jilly, I'm just popping the email address in the chat for you. There we go. Oh, Ali's done that as well. Great. So just to kind of wrap up our Aboriginal painting workshop, once you're done today and you've clicked out, feel free to roam around the platform, the TTG Aussie Fest platform. We did host our first successful networking hour of TTG Aussie Fest yesterday afternoon, and we have another scheduled for 10:30 to 11:30 tomorrow. But that doesn't mean that networking needs to be limited to those times at all. You can connect with anyone on the platform anytime this week using the one-to-one networking and group networking functions at the bottom of the virtual lobby. You have the choice between private and group video calls or even messages if you're camera shy. You can also pop into the partner zones in the virtual lobby. You can download videos, destination guides and marketing materials to use when selling Australia. Some of the partners are also giving away prizes within those dedicated partner zones. So you can find details of that in the chat in the relevant partner zones. And yes, feel free to roam around. Again, the sessions from yesterday are now online in the relevant rooms, so you can catch up on those if you missed them. And please do come back at 9:25 tomorrow to find out the winners of today's spot prizes, which are 2 bottles of Aussie sparkling wine. So if you've been answering the questions in the polls tab for the chance to win the spot prizes and also the grand gold medal prize, please do pop back at 9:25 tomorrow and we will reveal the winners of the spot prizes. Tomorrow morning, we will also be moving into the masterclasses to learn about Tourism Australia's Australian wildlife journeys. So within that masterclass, we're going to be taking a virtual tour of Ningaloo Reef and Maria Island to see what a visit to these destinations could look like. Then we will hear a presentation from the Luxury Lodges of Australia, and they'll be sharing what makes these accommodation options so unique and why your luxury-loving clients will love them. So I think that is everything from me today. So I will sign out and please continue painting. And if you did have any questions, you can send them to Nicole throughout the course of the week via the chat function, the inbox, and she'll pick those up for you. And also you can talk to her in the partner zone as well. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow and take care, everyone. Happy painting.
Thank you. Thanks very much to Leah and Sarah. Maybe we can get Sarah as a final note to just hold up where she's at with that beautiful painting.
Absolutely.
Stunning. Very, very talented you are, Sarah. Thank you so much to Maraku Arts, and thank you as well, Maddie, for hosting the session.
Thank you to you. The painting's beautiful.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.